Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about how to know if your ex is interested again. So, the reason that I'm putting this video out there for you guys is that a lot of times when we are emotionally invested or attached to an outcome, we can often have a very difficult time seeing what's going on. This is especially true if you've had attachment injuries. If you grew up in a home where you were not seen or heard or understood or felt, if you formed an anxious attachment style or an avoidant attachment style, you likely distorted reality. And this happens because when things are too painful, our brain can't handle it, and we start to do a lot of different things to cope with the stress and the pain that, you don't feel loved, you don't feel cared about. Okay? So, one of those things that you may have done is you may have told yourself that you had a great relationship with your family when you really don't, and you don't talk with them, or you have no communication with them, or you rarely hear from them. But because it's so painful, you actually start to distort and believe things. And this can actually happen extremely early as young babies can start to do this, because and this is very severe. This is what's called splitting. This is when an infant is unable to accept on an unconscious level that the mom is, sometimes this wonderful person and sometimes this neglectful, maybe even abusive person. So the baby actually splits that's two different people, and that is the beginning to extreme use of coping mechanisms to survive. I mean, hopefully you're not in a situation where you've gone that far, but I'm just trying to get you to understand how this works, and so you have better ideas of why I explain these things to you guys, okay? So, another way of coping with things, just to throw this out there, because you might find it interesting too, is that I believe that ADD, attention deficit disorder, is really a coping mechanism. And at first we begin to use it as a coping mechanism because things in our life are too painful, too stressful, so we begin to kind of zone out so we don't have to deal with the pain of reality. And I believe that what happens is we start to use it early as coping to help us survive, but then we just kind of continue using it over and over, and it becomes like a maladaptive pattern for us. And then it really affects the neurology in the brain and our ability to process things, and it kind of stays with us lifelong. Now, anxiety can have a real big effect on that too. If you have a lot of anxiety, your body goes into survival mode. And when your body goes into survival mode, a lot of different things happen. Chemicals are released in your body because it's like fight or flight. You're basically on hyper alert all the time. And I know I'm going a little bit off topic here, but sometimes I find stuff to be helpful to share with you guys, because I'm guessing a lot of you people watching this video are going to say to yourselves, I don't have a very good memory. Why is that? Because you had a lot of anxiety, and the anxiety tends to put us in like a fog, right? And because your brain can't handle all the pain that's going on, we start to only remember things in like short bursts. And so if you had a lot of anxiety in your childhood, there's a good chance that you probably don't have a lot of memories, or you have a very poor memory. I totally went off topic there. But, okay. let me go on. We're talking about how to know if your ex is interested in again. I'm talking about distorting reality. I'm talking about anxiety. They kind of all go hand in hand, because my point here is that if you're in a situation that you have a lot of anxiety, you had a lot of anxiety growing up, you probably developed a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms just to help you survive. Because there are negative symptoms that come along with the coping skills that we use, okay? Now, the reason that I'm kind of explaining all this is because I have to point out when you guys are distorting reality. And sometimes I get real extreme cases of people that are completely distorting reality of the situation with their ex, that relationship, and their chances of getting them back. And I have an email here today from somebody that is really having a hard time of seeing what's going on, okay? And after this, I am going to get to the how to know when your ex is interested again. But I just want you to see what some of you may be doing. Now, this is an extreme case, but just listen to what's going on with this guy. He says, "Hi Craig, so I think I have a really good chance of getting my ex back, and I wanted to hear what you think. My ex broke up with me because I cheated on her. She didn't actually catch me in the act, so she isn't 100% sure that I did it. I was drunk when I admitted it, but I think she may have forgotten. Plus, I brought her flowers the next day." I hope you're shaking your head too. "She says she wants time and space away from me. I don't think she really means it. It's only been 3 months, but the other day she texted me to mail her the last of her things. She said she would mail me a check to cover the costs. I was thinking I would just bring her things back to her, so she'll be happy to see me. I mean, why would she offer to send me money if she didn't want us to get back together?" Okay. Obviously, this guy is having a really difficult time in his situation, to the point that he is living in complete denial. And it might be very painful to him to see what's going on here and to see the truth of what's going on in his life. So, I feel for this guy, because he's had to develop all these coping mechanisms to deal with the trauma and the stress of this breakup, to the point where he's living in denial. So, I would be careful in how I dealt with him, and only help him see what's going on a little bit at a time, to where he can, handle it. I mean, think about what he's saying here. He thinks that bringing her flowers took away the pain of him betraying her. No, of course not. That's not even close to what's going on here. If you cheat on somebody and you bring them flowers, that's not going to make them feel like you haven't betrayed them. She said she wants time and space, and he doesn't believe it. He said, "I don't think she really believes it." But of course she means it. She's saying that she would cover the cost of the shipping because she wants to get her things back. This isn't an indication that she wants to get you back. And, she's just not showing any signs at this time that she's interested in getting back with him. And you don't want to lie to yourself, but at the same time, if you're having that difficult of a time coping with things, you need to get some appropriate help. And if you know that you're lying about things and you're sweeping things under the rug, you have to talk about it. You have to deal with it. Otherwise, you're just going to continue to live in a lie. You're going to continue to distort reality. And you're not going to feel better. You're not going to get better. So, guys, I know some of you guys are probably laughing at what this guy is going through. And I could see why you would find it humorous. I feel bad for this guy. I feel for this guy because I see what's going on. And, I know how bad he must be hurting. And how much he must be hurting from his childhood. So, guys, you have to take mental health seriously. I know some of you guys are maybe on the fence about getting help, getting services for yourself, but nothing is more important than your health and your mental health. And sometimes we have to go to professionals to get us through those difficult times. And I say that having done it. I am on both sides of it. I have been a therapist since 2002. And I went to therapy twice a week when I had a really difficult breakup. So I practice what I preach to you guys. And I lived it and I do it. So I want you guys to do anything that I did not do for myself. So get yourself some real help if you're feeling anxious and depressed. You can go to counseling, you can get group therapy, you can get help from friends and family, or you can work with me. Obviously my specialty is breakups and helping you with breakups, helping you understand what's going on. I help you on so many levels that you're not going to find from these other coaches because they simply just don't have the education or the background. That's why I'm constantly teaching you guys about anxious, avoidant attachment styles, attachment traumas, because I really want to help you guys understand the unconscious things that are going on in the, from the past that are coming out in the present. So I apologize if you're a little frustrated that I went off on a tangent there, but I'm trying to share with you guys that people do distort reality, and you might be doing it even if it's a small amount. You may not be that extreme, but you might be doing a small amount. So, let's talk about how to know when your ex is interested. Okay? So, anytime a woman puts any contact out there with you, for any reason, assume that she's interested. Okay? A lot of guys get confused about the direct approach that I talk about. So let me talk about that a little bit, because it's really a big key to understanding if your ex is interested, okay? If you haven't talked to somebody in a long time, they're going to be apprehensive about contacting you. They are going to worry maybe that you're going to be mad at them. They don't know what's going on in your life, so they might think you're dating somebody else, or that you have no interest in talking to them. So, they don't want to be vulnerable in the way that they contact you. So they're not going to come out and say, I want to know what's going on in your life. I want to see you. I think about you all the time. I want to try and work things out. It happens, but it's rare. They do the direct approach, okay? So, they don't want to put themselves at risk for rejection. Nobody likes to be rejected. So, when women know they have to contact you because you haven't contacted them, they call you, they text you, or they send you a message somehow. That's the direct part of the direct approach that I talk about. The direct part is that they've made an effort to go out of their way and contact you. Now, The indirect part is the part that often confuses you guys the most, because they send a confusing message. They don't directly say, hey, I miss you. That would make life easy, wouldn't it? No. They say something unusual and confusing, but it's only because they miss you and they're looking for a reason to contact you. This is a perfect example. My friend just got this text message this past week. It's hilarious. So, he got a text message from his ex that said, I just wanted to tell you, I hope you have a good day. He hadn't heard from her in a year. I can't even make this stuff up, guys. Like, this is ridiculous. This girl has had zero contact with him in a year, and she sends him a text message that says, I just wanted to tell you, I hope you have a good day. Like, what about the 365 days plus before that? Where were you then? Those days didn't matter. Today's the day. I might have a good day today. Tomorrow, I hope you don't wake up. No, it's like, all right. So the indirect direct approach, they're always, almost always going to leave you confused. They're going to send you a text message that makes you confused. Sometimes they will use a holiday or a birthday as an excuse. Now, most people don't know it's an excuse or the real reason. It's not about the birthday. It's not about the holiday. It's not about Happy Groundhog Day, although that is a great day to celebrate. It's about, I miss you and I'm looking for a reason to reach out to you. And they may have been even waiting for that day to do it. The reason is because they miss you and they want to talk with you. Women do not contact men that they're not interested in. They just don't do it. They won't do it. So, if you want to get my help personally, go to my website, askcraig.net. Made it even simpler for you guys to get coaching. Dead center of the page, as soon as you go on the website, it says, get coaching. You click on that. It takes coaching. I do email coaching with you, and I do Skype coaching. So, if you like this video, put a like on there, leave your comments below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I leave them Monday through Friday. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.